Welcome back to Headlines. I'm Wes Austin, and these are today's top stories. First, Kamala Harris popped up at a bookstore and claimed that the 2024 election was the closest of the century. Well, sure, if you measure in vodka tonics per sentence. Despite the fact that the government might shut down, Senate Democrats are quietly planning a luxury retreat in Napa Valley. Well, at least they have their priorities straight. Next, J.K. Rowling clapped back at Emma Watson. Emma spent years publicly denouncing Rowling, but don't worry, she still cares. It's like getting punched in the face by someone wearing a Love Wins t-shirt. And finally, Ariana Grande decided to scold Trump supporters on Instagram, asking if their lives are any better. Says the pop star whose biggest struggle is whether her next latte foam art should be a heart or a unicorn. And then we go on to the comment section, looking at the segment that we did about the 274 FBI agents at January 6th. We're going to be looking at the question, did Christopher Wray lie to Congress? Okay, let's dive in. Kamala Harris said that the election she lost was the closest election of the century. The only thing closer was her distance to the open bar before she said this.
Closest election for President of the United States in the 21st century.
Wow, I know that's right. And a Howard grad did that.
Here. And a Howard grad did.
Kamala Harris claims the 2024 race was the closest of the century, which is true if you don't count Bush versus Gore, math, or sobriety tests. Democrats are threatening to shut down the government, but don't worry, they're already booking their spa treatments. A government shutdown will occur if Congress doesn't pass an agreement to fund the government by the end of September 30th. Democrats' demands include a demand that U.S. taxpayers pay for health care for illegal immigrants. Pretty soon, the only way to get health care will be to renounce your citizenship. But despite the possible shutdown, Senate Democrats are planning a 2-day retreat at a 5-star resort in California wine country on October 13th and 14th. The resort is a vineyard, estate-inspired retreat which extends a Tuscan European vibe where they can soak in oversized sunken tubs with their own private fireplaces. And to shake things up, they're going to have a wine tour. For Democrats, the one thing more important than draining the swamp is draining a bottle of Merlot. J.K. Rowling called out Emma Watson on comments she made about their years-long rift. Emma said that she still cares about Rowling. That's like saying, I adore you, except for the part where I pushed you down the stairs and backed over your dog, twice. J.K. Rowling decided to respond to Watson by posting this on X. Like other people who've never experienced adult life uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life, she's ignorant of how ignorant she is. I wasn't a multi-millionaire at 14. I lived in poverty while writing the book that made Emma famous. Emma is rightly free to disagree with me and indeed to discuss her feelings about me in public, but I have the same right, and I've finally decided to exercise it. You know, Severus Snape wasn't wrong. She really is insufferable. Ariana Grande, the singer who cried during all of those weird Wicked interviews, she recently blasted Trump supporters by resharing an Instagram post which said this. I want to check in with Trump voters. I have one very genuine question. Has your life gotten better? Has your work-life balance improved? Can you take a vacation yet? Are you happier? Has the widespread suffering of others paid off for you in the way he promised it would, or are you still waiting? She posted, I have one very genuine question, and then she asks like 6 questions. Ariana, this is why you need to finish high school before lecturing people about their life choices. And now onto the comment section. So we're going to be looking at comments on the segment that I did about the 274 FBI agents that were at January 6th. So this comment is from Danielle Hedrick. How did they find the room to squeeze in any civilians? That is a really good question. I'm hoping they use lanyards, you know, so, or maybe it was like a Southwest when you go to the gate and they, like, all the FBI government people were in the A group, so they got the best seats. But yeah, it's crazy. 274 agents, and I don't think that's counting under, like, confidential informants, like CIs, people who aren't officially agents. I would really love to know the final number of FBI-related folks who are actually there. Okay, then this is from Bartlester 591. Yeah, now the better question is, how many CIA agents were in the crowd? I would love to know that too. I was thinking about that because now we've got some FBI numbers, and I think we also had some CIA numbers as well, but nothing about the CIA. I mean, did the NSA? I think the NSA, they have field operatives too. I would love to know how many government-sponsored folks were in that crowd. I mean, it was a huge deal. You know that every three-letter agency probably had to have folks there wanting to know what's going on. Okay, maybe not the IRS, but almost everybody else were like, it's probably like a big party for them. We all need to get there. Okay, this is from April E. Bleb 911. Wes, did you see the Wikipedia attachment? I actually had a lot of people commenting on this, so I guess I'll put this graphic up on the screen. So when my video was showing on YouTube, YouTube put up this big January 6th notice at the bottom. So they're still doing that, which is really annoying, pointing to Wikipedia. So irritating. Yeah, this little notice. On January 6th, the United States Capitol was attacked by a mob of supporters of President Donald Trump in an attempted self-coup. Yeah, so every time my video popped up, that popped up. I haven't seen a correction with little asterisk, except for the hundreds of FBI agents that were there. Anyway, yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I don't know when they're going to stop doing that. Usually when I even mention January 6th, so it's going to happen to this video now, but YouTube will limit the distribution of the video because they just don't like that subject. So like if my graph of views kind of goes up like this usually, if I mention January 6th, it's like just, and I used to think it was because maybe my jokes were terrible, which still could be. The jokes could have been bad. But I also know YouTube just doesn't like me talking about certain subjects, so they will do stuff, and seeing that big notice is probably one of those key indicators that this might not be distributed to as many people. So anyway. Okay, this is from Raymond Wright, 2985. Next to be indicted, Christopher Wray. He lied under oath, worse than James Comey. So I wanted to look at that for a minute to see what he really said. I mean, I think we all know Christopher Wray clearly was misleading and deceptive in what he was saying. But the real question is he a really, really good liar so that he knows not to say something that can get him in trouble for actually lying? Is he just, how good is he? So this article came up just over the weekend, I think. This is from Fox News, where I think Kash Patel, he says that Wray lied to Congress. So I thought, okay, let's start with this and see, because what we really want is a statement with like a black and white, he said this and it's a lie, and they can get him on that lie, rather than something that's misleading but not technically a lie, which Christopher Wray's probably, had all sorts of training on that. Okay, so let me see. So this is that article, Fox News. FBI's Patel clarifies role of hundreds of agents on January 6th, says that Wray lied to Congress. So let's just dig into this a little bit. While the agents were on hand, they were sent in after the riot had begun to try to control the unruly crowd, officials told Fox News Digital. This is not the proper role of FBI agents, and Wray was not forthcoming about what happened when he testified numerous times on Capitol Hill, Director Kash Patel said. Okay, and again, not forthcoming is not going to probably qualify as lying, so let's keep digging into here. Agents were sent into a crowd control mission after the riot was declared by Metro Police, something that goes against FBI standards, Patel told Fox News Digital. This was the failure of a corrupt leadership that lied to Congress and to the American people about what really happened. So we've got Patel calling this a lie. There's no indication any FBI agents were involved in any events related to Trump's speech on the morning of January 6th at the Ellipse, an FBI official told Fox News Digital, adding that Wray should have disclosed that agents were there when he was asked by congressional leaders. Okay, again, because he should have done it, so far I'm not seeing a lie. He's clearly like super deceptive, very misleading, but we want like a black and white, he said this, and we can show that it's false. So I'm hoping we can find something because Wray, man. All right. This actually does give us a statement, I think, from Wray. Okay, so Wray told a House committee on November 15, 2023, if you are asking if the violence at the Capitol was part of some operation orchestrated by FBI sources or agents, the answer is no. But he wouldn't disclose if any agents or sources were embedded within the crowd. Okay, so that statement right there is getting, he's still pretty slimy in the way he said that, because he's saying if they were part of something orchestrated by FBI sources, and he easily could say, well, they didn't set up this, that they were going to have this January 6th protest. They just showed up and then tried to entrap people. I mean, there's one, so that statement, I mean, he's certainly being very deceptive and very misleading. Is it something that would be an actual lie that they could go after him under one of the federal statutes or not? I don't know. Here's one other statement from, this is from Representative Andy Biggs, and this was from X in July 2023. FBI Director Wray just told me he does not believe there were any undercover FBI agents in or around the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. This claim has already been debunked, including by the former U.S. Capitol Police Chief. Wray will be held accountable for this lie. Okay, he doesn't believe there were any undercover FBI agents in and around the Capitol. This is getting really close, so I think this could be a lie. Again, you guys all know that I think Wray is the worst and very misleading. The only question is how good is he at lying. But when he says there weren't any undercover FBI agents, I think in my mind a plainclothes FBI agent on January 6th would be an undercover FBI agent. But is there some definition for FBI agent, that undercover FBI agent, that is different than a plainclothes FBI agent? This is how the government works. Those three-letter agencies, they always have the way something's defined, and then later, like, well, it wasn't really a lie because I was talking about these clearly are misleading, and these are the closest statements I could see to where we could possibly go after Wray for lying. Hopefully we'll probably find more, but these were the ones that I think are the closest to that. So I will certainly keep you posted, but he's going to be very slippery and slimy and a very good person that misleads people. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching Headlines. God, I said that weird. I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm still Wes Austin. Good night.